Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Factorio Heavily Modded. We're getting right back into it. Gonna go and destroy some biters. I'm hitting a couple walls, but I'm just trying to get down to the lead production to grab some more ammo. This episode is very productive on the biter extermination front. So yeah, we're gonna hop back up to the front lines, as you might call it, and we're gonna go destroy some nests. Very important that we notice there are nests up here because they're getting very close to our base and there's tons of them. You can see there's a bunch of nests here and we're just going to have to slowly destroy them one by one at this point. But there are coming changes to allow for us to destroy them much quicker and more efficiently in this episode. Now that we have automated tech cards, the basic tech cards, automation tech cards, and logistics tech cards, we can work on some better objects here. So we're going to try and catch some fish here using the deconstruction planner, some nanobots, and when they can't reach, we'll use our right click to pick the fish up. But we're also going to destroy some trees just because they were in the way. Some of these fish we still can't reach even with just our hands here, so unfortunately we won't be able to grab them, but we are going to walk up here, and we just need to make some med packs because we're running low on health and we don't have any more med packs at this point. So we're going to quickly make 55 med packs. We're not going to make all of them, but we are going to sit here and craft a few so we have some to back us up when we go back in for the kill on these bases. Just once 10 of them are crafted, now we're going to walk back in. We used a couple to heal ourselves, and here we go. Using the laser turrets to our advantage, we're going to take down these hordes of biters and spitters, destroy the biter nests, destroy the spitter nests, and the worms. Just completely obliterate all of these people, all of these monsters, enemies, aliens, whatever you want to call them, in our path. Our inventory unfortunately gets full and we cannot do anything about it. So instead we're going to set this chest down, drop some graphite and some alien ore in it. That way we can continue to craft more med packs. Once again going back to destroy more bases. You can see the issue here. Our bullets are no longer doing as much damage as they really need to be because the biters are expanding. They're evolutionizing. I guess you would call it evolving. But anyway, they're now at 3.8% compared to the starting 0.2%, and therefore our bullets do not do nearly as much damage as they need to. So it is very imperative that we research some bullet damage, but also some better weaponry throughout this time frame. Can you imagine if we had started without the Better Start mod giving us the power armor and the machine gun from the start, trying to use a pistol and a shotgun this whole time to kill these biters and nests and everything? Can you imagine that? I just can't imagine, because we would have died many times over due to health problems. Because we didn't have enough health to deal with them, you know. So it's very imperative that we get rid of these guys now. But it's very helpful that we started with some better things there. Now we can see there was an expansion just then up top. There was a biter nest that formed right next to us, which is crazy. Again, just continued expansion. We do have some issues now where more biters and spitters have gotten into our base and destroyed some things, so we're going to go down and take care of that issue. There also was a furnace that was destroyed right there that we didn't notice, but it was down here. We had some destruction, and I couldn't seem to find it at the time. I really don't think I did ever find it. I think it was actually destruction up there, that furnace and such that I'm talking about. But anyway, it was one of our stone brick furnaces, one of the alumina balancer for the fourth row of alumina, and also some of the belts there. But anyway, we're going to drop this extra science in here, and expand our labs just a little bit because we have some of the ingredients to do so. These inserters that we have feeding the labs are getting very outdated, very slow, very quickly, so we will have to swap them out for fast inserters soon. And I realized that I was doing this wrong, so I delete these labs and fix it right there. Evenly setting up these labs, and I do actually have only 2 inserters left in my inventory that I didn't realize. So that's going to be something that I'll run into in a minute, but we'll pick up some more inserters and be okay. I then decide, you know what, let's go ahead and move the weapon production, the ammo production into the building with some where this lead is being mined into, and we'll just use up the rest of the lead here for just lead plates. It'll be a just for now a small hand lead plate area for us to grab just to use in our inventory to craft things. So then we're going to make some more ammo on our own and then going up here to the building up here where we're making right after the lead plates, not this building, but the next building over where we're making all of our solder and everything. We're going to pick up all these extra iron plates off the ground, grab a splitter and split off this lead plate belt right here, and set it right over here next to the blank tech cards. We're going to put one assembler here making ammo just to have a quick ammo production for us to use. And I do cap that off at 2 spaces, I believe, just not at that particular point. I may not cap it off, but I think I should have. I think I do eventually. But anyway, we're now coming back up here, fighting more biters and spitters, once again using the laser turrets to our advantage to deal with the actual biters and spitters, and then we are just going in and dealing with the worms in the nest, which there are no more worms in this area. There are a couple down at the bottom right there you can see, but just in this particular nest there are not any. So we're going to head down there and destroy those in just a second. Get these stragglers off of us, head down here, destroy the worms, destroy the nest, and then work our way up to the next area here. Trying to get these biters and spitters away from our base as much as we possibly can. You can see there's another biter nest up at the very top there, right underneath the position, the coordinates there. You can see it now, and a couple worms, and then some more over here on the right. And I ultimately decided this is just going to be too much once we destroy this nest to really try and worry about right now. So we're waiting till Military 2 finishes, and then we'll get grenades to more efficiently destroy these nests. Because you can see there's too many nests up here. I really don't feel like dealing with it, so we really don't. Until we get some grenades, and then we rush in, destroying all of these things. I do think I destroy one worm and this nest. I might go ahead and destroy a couple more things, but I'm not sure how much further I go because I only have a certain amount of ammunition here. Using it up quickly, so it's very important to keep an eye on that. But yeah, there's just a bunch of worms, a bunch of nests, and I'm like, you know what? Let's head back to base, wait on the grenades. We're going to put some walls up here to try and get them to stop expanding. But the problem is that because these nests are so close to their active bases, or because these chunks are so close to their active bases, they will go ahead and expand anyway due to the rampant mod. It doesn't matter what color the expansion circles are. It's not really. I think it's a different kind of expansion. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but I think it is something to do with the rampant mod, and a different kind of expansion on how it works. Is that what they do is they just kind of walk out a few chunks from their base, or maybe 1 or 2 chunks from their current bases or worms, and then just decide to expand there. Like, they try to expand in all directions evenly, and wherever's the least crowded area, they just do it. around each already built base. I don't think it's necessarily the actual biter expansion that happens every 4 to 20 minutes or whatever it was. I think it's a slightly different thing there. But there are a couple more nests down here that spawned in just right next to our base. Once again, this actually was from an expansion, not from just a nest expanding itself. So there were 3 worms and 2 nests. I think 1 biter and 1 spitter, just a small nest. And you can see right there, there was that expansion again, the nest expansion. And not a full enemy expansion, but the nest expansion there, where one or two of the biters go out with an expansion party and just decide to expand the current nest that they are residing in. You can see all of the places where these biters have been spawning and expanding to just right around our base here. I run into a power pole, so I just like, you know what, I'm right where I need to be anyway. Let's just delete the car, we'll be fine. Pick it up here. Fix the walls that I didn't notice until just then on the way back. We actually don't have any walls on us, so we have to run back to get some more walls. That was the entire reason we came back to base in the first place. But then I saw those nests on the way, and I was like, well, we need to destroy them. We'll pick up some more ammo. I guess I don't limit that, but anyway, that should be alright. Pick up some more ammo, head over here to the wall creation area, pick up the wall, and then I see all these damaged things. I think, yep, these walls, this balancer, and I don't think I noticed the furnace up there and the other balancer for a second, but I'm just clearing out the new recipes here out of our inventory. Yeah, I don't notice them, but that's okay. We come back, and I do eventually fix those this episode, so that's alright. I am going to hydrate, drink some water while we're crafting these gun turrets. Place down a turret here because this gets destroyed very often, and it's just a good idea. But now we are heading down. We are going over this way because we have a few extra science cards in our inventory that I'd like to get rid of, and we're just going to dump them into this top lab. And we're just going to try, at this point I decided, you know what, let's just try and clear out our inventory a little bit. And I also noticed the basic tech cards are not being created, and I find out, hey, it's because there's no wood. So let's go and fix that problem, and it's because somehow we rotated the water well to where it was no longer connected to the greenhouses. I have no idea when we did that, because I don't even remember walking into that building, but at some point I had to have done that and pressed the rotate button on it once, and it just failed. So it does take a minute for that to get back up to processing, but we're going to go ahead and clear out some of our inventory slots here. So that'll be all right. And we're just going to continue working on different things while the military science... Yeah, there I go. I limited it down to 1 stack. But while the military science is researching, we're going through the processing and things that we need, the intermediate researches. Because you have to research tungsten processing and fluid processing and all those things beforehand. But yes, we are getting to that point soon. And I just stand here and make sure all of the greenhouses are outputting logs, which they are. And those go in here, and then they start making more tech cards for us. That way we will have the basic tech cards that we need, because right now we are completely not researching anything because we don't have any basic tech cards on deck to research anything. Still trying to clear my inventory out. I don't know why I walked in here. I thought there was an aluminum furnace in here, but there wasn't. But I do get this copper placed in the furnace, and take the wood back, just because I need to clear out the trash slots for extra times when I do run out of inventory space. I decided to just give up on the aluminum thing, and we are now once again have basic tech cards in our lab system, so we are once again able to research. So those are going now. I decided to make some more labs, so I need some more glass, and I turn off the tile grid because I had forgotten to do that. And we check our sand. We actually do have some sand made, and we're going to toss it in this furnace to smelt some more glass. Wait on it here to smelt some glass so that we can make some more labs to expand our researching speed and capacity. That's the main point. We want to expand the speed of the research. We don't want to be stuck with slow lab production, or whatever you want to call it. Not lab production, but researching speed. I really should go and turn off the the ports on all these lab buildings, but I didn't think about it. Go ahead and place down the workbench to finish up crafting these labs very quickly. Military 2 is researched. We now have access to red ammo and grenades and a few other things as well, which are awesome. That is awesome for us. Unfortunately, I ran out of inserters, and also these labs, these inserters, are not fast enough to fill the labs constantly. So we are now going to have to get some better inserters, and I decided to go ahead and automate them. I don't know if I do it quite yet, but once I start the next research and realize, hey, these are too slow, then that's the problem. But yeah, I'm still looking at all the different things that we can do now, and it's awesome. So we have grenade launcher ammo, we have poison capsules, red ammo, and grenades. And the grenades actually are using the vanilla recipe of coal and iron. I'm not entirely sure the actual recipe because I'm not a veteran at this game, but I know it's coal and iron. I just don't know if it's the same ratios. That might be something that's changed, but correct me if I'm wrong. But I think it might be a raised ratio where there's more coal and more iron needed to make it, but it might not be. So we're just going to put this assembler here for grenades. This power pole is really not doing anything except connecting those two there to connect the burner generators in this half of the base. So I go and fix that, then place down this assembler, power it, and put a chest down, change it to making grenades, limit that chest there, and I do in fact change one of those inserters into a fast inserter to allow for us to have faster production because the coal is moving much slower. By the time that the coal is in there, the iron has been in there for a long time, so that way the iron and coal get put in there about the same speed to make one grenade. And I go and finish the Sentinel research because we may as well. We were already most of the way done through that anyway. Then we're going to start research on bullet damage, I think. If not bullet damage, then the inventory size. Yep, inventory size. And then I believe movement speed and the bullet damage. I know we researched bullet damage and gun turret damage at some point, but I don't think we researched that till the end. And I decided to start the radar research because it's good to be able to craft radars. So our main goal for this point, see now you can notice our labs are so slow because of this single regular inserter inserting the red science into the lab and the basic science as well, the automation and basic tech cards. Really I should split those belts up instead of putting them on one belt. But for now, it seems like they're doing okay. There are still some places where I replace the regular inserters to being fast ones. But yeah, we're doing all right at the moment. So I'm just watching these labs to see, okay, where do I need to put fast inserters? And I know it's right there and right in this row as well. And then it kind of evens out for now. Looking at how to automate the fast inserters. We start on this automation journey. We do not actually finish fast inserters by the end of the episode, but we do manage to automate long-handed inserters by the end of this episode. The main reason that the fast inserters are not automated by the end of the episode is because of those bronze plates. And I just ran out of time mainly because of dealing with all of these biter nests and spitter nests. But I do manage to automate the the long-handed inserters I'm just looking at the ratios here of how many buildings of each kind we need, and it doesn't change at all. It just changes to add the extra building in. So we need the foundry, and I'm just going to end up at some point adding that into the building with the electronic circuits and such, all the components for the green science. This building, I am going to add that in here, I think, next episode. If not, then I might do do it in just outside or possibly in another building. I'm not sure, but I do know I am going to go ahead and expand these electronic circuits productions, and I really didn't. I started playing around with how I wanted to do that, and that just didn't work. So I was like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and delete it all and put it a different way in here. So that's what I do. Instead of them being horizontal, I change it to being a vertical arrangement of assembling machines here. So we're going to do that. Run the two belts alongside it. Plop down our long-handed inserters. Plop down our regular inserters, making it look nice and even. And then change the recipe. Put down the output inserters, and now we have doubled our electronic circuit production. Which we really didn't need to double it. We only needed to add one extra building, and we didn't actually double the inputs. We only doubled the outputs. So we may or may not actually be able to handle that amount, but for now, it is doing what it needs to do. Now I'm going to split off the electronic circuits so that we can have some for our fast inserters down here. Just doing it this way so that we can not have to build them somewhere else, and it's just easier that way on the overall long term or short term, because long term we're going to be rebuilding all of this anyway into a bigger, better base once we get robots, like actual robots. The early construction bots mod that I've got, I may or may not end up using, but I do have the nanobots, which help some. They're still pretty slow, but the early bots can do things on their own without me having to be there, so maybe it's a good idea, now that we can make radars, it's possible it would be a good idea to have some early roboports so that we can use the radars and the map screen to actually build blueprints and such on the in our factory here. So that is something that may or may not happen soon, but for now we're going to stick with what we've got. Just adding these extra iron rods for the long-handed inserters because that's a requirement for them. It only is one inserter and I think like 5 iron rods or something to make the long-handed inserters. So we're going to just do that really quickly, make 2 stacks of those at all times, and that won't do much to our production here because most of the time this inserter box is sitting there with no extra added issues. I'm also going to place another one of these assemblers right next to this so that we can then have for the fast inserters. And of course, like I said, we do not ever get the bronze plates finished in this episode, but we have it most of the way done. We then have the electronic circuits to feed to it, also these aluminum plates to feed to it. And I run out of underground belts. So I was about to craft some, but I realized, hey, wait, I'm automating those, so I can just come and grab some. So I grab some underground belts, and I go and grab some splitters and some more transport belts as well, because we were low on those too. The radar technology is finished. I'm like, well, we may as well just keep researching so that we can constantly be researching something. I decide, let's go ahead and research towards basic vehicles. So if you just go to the end goal and then go into researching it, it will allow you to just research everything in that queue there, because it's the research queue. And I think there is a mod that changes some of the way that works as well, but maybe not. I haven't played Vanilla Factorio in so long, it's crazy. So, I have played, well, I'll change that. I have played back Vanilla Factorio somewhat recently before I started this series, but it was for the what is it? The supply challenge, I think it's called, which I beat that pretty simply. That was pretty easy, but that was fun to do though. But yeah, I did that one and completed all of that a little while, maybe a couple weeks before I started this series. So, but that was fun. Um, Sorry, give me just a second. One of my display cables keeps coming loose because the HDMI port on my graphics card is a little loose because I'm running a quad monitor setup. I've got three 1K monitors and a 4K monitor. I know I've said that plenty of times, but anyway, sometimes the HDMI cord for the 4K monitor comes loose. But anyway, we are running into battle with our grenades fresh in hand. 55 grenades. Really, they don't do all that much damage. They do to the actual biters and spitters themselves, they do 100 damage, but to the bases, they do about 80. So it really is not that much. The worms, they do 100, so that's nice. I just go and finish off these last couple shots here. And I actually did a lot of damage to myself there in this battle here, because I was standing way too close to the bases when I shot the grenades. Wasn't paying attention to where I was throwing them, and we actually ran out of grenades before we even, we just were re-clearing out the land we already cleared. So they've continuously been expanding this whole time I've been playing, which has only been, I've been playing, let's say 50 something minutes, 50 odd minutes now, as of this point in the video. And since we destroyed that other base, maybe 20, 30 minutes. So they've really continuously expanded as we've been just building our factory, trying to get grenades to go and fight them. We're going to fix this issue here. This was where they destroyed some of our base earlier. Just once again, filling up the trash slots, not even caring. Repairing the damaged issues here and replacing that balancer by crafting a new one. Yeah, so that is awesome. We are going to get, once these researches have completed, we're actually going to get something done that is very, very cool. Part of the AAI vehicles mod. I don't know if it's actually a vehicles mod specifically, but it's AAI industry at least. I know that much. But it's AAI, whatever you want to call it. That's where it comes from. I'm not sure exactly which branch off of the mod it is, but that's where it comes from. I do readjust this. We're actually finally fixing the problem of putting underground belts underneath the wall instead of just digging a hole in the wall, which is dumb in the first place, and I don't know why I ever did that. But anyway, that's what we're doing. So now we are going over here, and I realize, oh wait, there's still a stinking something attacking us over here, and we're finally fixing our factory building production because we ran out of stone on the belt. Well, I guess I didn't realize it until... Well, I guess I didn't realize it. But anyway, something was attacking our zirconia over there. There's another expansion that happens up there next to our base up there. Our walls that we put down. And it actually, if you watch the map up in that top corner, if you go back in the video a couple seconds, you can see it right now. Up there is an expansion indicator. But it doesn't really show up down at the bottom. The one at the bottom is the major expansions, but then it does show the smaller expansions up on the map, just doesn't pop it down on the bottom right corner to show me. So that's why I'm not noticing when these biters are expanding, because I can't see it, because it's only on the map and not in the thing. And so here's a problem I ran into. I used the deconstruction planner. I was going to make one for just trees and rocks, and then I didn't have any space in my inventory or my trash slot. So I ended up having to go over here to the hub, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And then I'm like, okay. And I actually used the deconstruction planner on the hub, and I'm like, oh, shoot. So now I can't walk past the hub at all with the deconstruction planner because that will continuously give issues. Um, with the bots on. See, there's the problem. Now everything's filled up in our inventory. And I'm not sure how to cancel a deconstruction planner. I really need to, but I will look that up probably between these videos if nobody comments about it. I'm just trying all these things to try and cancel it here. But because we don't have that shelter, the hub research, we can't actually do anything about it right now. So I can't copy it. I can't do nothing until we do that. Plus, you're not allowed to place more than one. So because the game knows we have one placed, it's not going to let us place another one by copying and pasting or anything. Anyway, we have researched basic vehicles, just checking our power production and consumption here. Still very well in the green here. Because, I mean, what do you expect? We just don't have to make very anything. The solar panels are producing everything we really need at this point. And I never actually killed anything over here the first time when I came over here to check the problem out. There was actually a biter or a spitter or something there. I think a spitter, but I killed it and fixed the problem. Thankfully, it didn't destroy the radar, but we are now, once again, noticing the expansion over here, and like, hey, we've got to destroy these things. There's so many stupid biters and spitters, and I finally researched these things we could have gotten a while ago. Well, I actually am not sure about the prerequisites here. So I start these, and I'm like, well, and then I see the other thing. I'm like, oh, well, we need that first. We really should have gotten these a while ago because they would have helped us a ton on base defense and base and getting rid of the expansion. The chain gunner, and I just now looked at the prerequisites. We could not have gotten that until we got the basic vehicle. So yeah, so that's crazy because in the original AAI mod, it's like one of the first vehicles you get, and yeah, so. Really, it's not supposed to take that much to get to it. But because of the way that this mod pack is set up, it does take a good while to get to it. And I go out of the base and then go back in the base and then go back out of the base. I kind of just being stupid. I turn one of these chain gunners into an AAI or an AI chain gunner, and then hop in the other one. And I'm going to take this out because I just wanted to show you guys what it does, or show y'all what it does anyway. I've put some ammo in both of them, just a small amount. They're both going to be destroyed here in a second, but we're going to go and destroy some bases with them. The pathfinding, I was trying to figure out what's the pathfinding here. How do I work it? And that's not what I wanted to do. So then I'm like, okay, so select, and it's actually shift click to tell it where to go. So we're now going to run over here. Of course, if you press shift and space at the same time, it ends up pausing the game and showing the tile grid. So I didn't want to do that, but we're going to just jump over here, destroy some bases real quick because we can, just to show you the power of these things. We only have 2 of them, and we managed to destroy a good bit of things, and we actually only had 40 ammunition, basically 37 ammunition in each of the chain gunners, and we managed to destroy a good fair chunk of these bases up here. And mine almost gets destroyed, so I jump out, switch to my nanobots because I don't have any ammunition anyway, and that'll continuously repair this while I'm riding in it. But you can just see that we're eating through these bases so much faster than before. Here's where I just abandoned them, and I'm like, okay, once mine gets destroyed, that's it. And but it was just to show you the chain gunners. But anyway, we're going to continue our rampage next time. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is me signing off, and I've been producing videos. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.